Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. Meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees here at WCNC Charlotte. You might have noticed we had a bit of different programming this morning because of the Royal Ascot. We again tomorrow will have different show times, but the only difference tomorrow is going to be no 6 a.m. So we'll be normal at 7 and normal at 9 o'clock. But let's get to the forecast. We want you to stay weather aware over the next few days because of above average heat and humidity. This is heat and humidity that we oftentimes don't see until mid to late July, even sometimes into early August. So we want you to stay weather aware from Sunday all the way through Wednesday before for the chance that we will see heat index values peaking at or above 100 degrees. We already have the dew points, the muggy meter feeling disgusting. We have dew points coming in from the immediate coast, shifting upward because of that low pressure system we were watching in the tropical Western Atlantic that is putting us in the oppressive category in the 70s. Anytime that you get above 70 degrees during the summertime, it feels again oppressive, disgusting, whatever. Then when you get above 75, that's when it feels absolutely miserable, and that's what we'll be close to at times heading through the day tomorrow and then again on Wednesday. Those are actually going to be the two most humid days that we'll see, kind of sandwiching us between kind of the buns there on the hamburger, let's say, of this humid stretch that we're going to see. Heat risk is a new product put out from the National Weather Service that we're going to be showing you here over the next few weeks, months as we talk about the heat. Definitely agreeing with this product puts us at the risk factor of seeing this above average heat and humidity. So tomorrow into Monday, and then including Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be in that high, medium to even major category. And even a few spots, including Metro Atlanta, are going to be in that extreme category as well. So again, it's all about the heat and all about the humidity. So trying to find ways to cool off is going to be especially important. Taking breaks in the shade. If you saw my weather IQ a few weeks ago, we took the temperature in two different spots, same blacktop, same parking lot, in the shade versus in the sun. The air temperature at that time was 82 degrees. The shaded temperature was 55, and the air temperature or the temperature on the ground in the direct sun was 105. So it just shows you that the shade can do a lot of to cool you down. So take time breaks in the shade, stay hydrated, and of course use sunscreen, all that good stuff. One of those spots may be the Lake Norman, a beautiful day to be today. Lake Wiley as well, lots of sunshine. Again, just trying to find ways to stay cool. The heat index is going to be high to extreme today, and so is the UV index. So, again, don't let it trick you. There's some clouds around today. You can get sunburnt on a cloudy day. There's that myth that you hear all the time that says you get more burnt on a cloudy day. It's not the case. It's not that you get more burnt, but when it's sunny and the sun is beating down on you with all that solar radiation, you can feel it so much more obviously than a day where it's cloudy. So you don't get more burnt on a cloudy day. It's just that you don't feel it as much as you do when the sun is scorching you like a big old hot dog. Again, as we go through the next few days, the most important forecast factor is going to be the heat and humidity, and many people will be again trying to cool off because of that. So the lake, the pool, the beach, we still have those above average rip current risks for parts of the immediate coastline because of that low pressure system. Today, that's mostly from Oak Island toward Kill Devil Hills, as especially including the Outer Banks of North Carolina. This is relatively common because they stick out. Oftentimes, they're the closest to the low pressure. So get a little bit better toward tomorrow and eventually lower heading through the early part of next week. And this area is actually not expected to develop at this point from the NHC. It's weakening pretty quickly, but it is causing some areas of rain and storm activity just off the coast of Jacksonville and coastal Georgia. Elsewhere, we do have the low pressure in the Gulf. This is expected to become potentially our next named storm within the next 2 to 7 days. Actually taking a relatively similar trek to Alberto, could develop and head toward the eastern side of Mexico, produce a little bit of rain for southern Texas, and is no threat to the Carolinas at this time. So not really expecting anything else tropical to track, really, other than the deep tropical moisture that we'll be talking about here locally over the next few days. I think the biggest takeaway here is that it's the heat coupled with the humidity. I mean, if you're from the south, you hear this all the time. It's not just the heat, it's the humidity. Remember that the heat index is a scientific calculation of the heat or of the humidity mixed with the actual air temperature and what it feels like on human skin. The higher the heat index, the harder it is for us to cool our bodies down. The more sticky it is outside, the harder it is for us to sweat and kind of get that natural bodily function. And that's why we have this excessive heat weather aware alert, let's say for you from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday through Wednesday. We eventually do get a little bit of storm activity, some slightly drier air mixing in back into the forecast by Thursday and Friday. So things are expected to get a little bit better. I still think we're going to be above average for this time of the year. And then actually, as we look at the extended forecast past day 7, it does look like we could warm up a little bit more. So we might be talking about temperatures back into the middle part of the 90s. So it does look like the end of June into the early part of July is going to stay above average. So, take those precautions. Make sure you're trying to take those, breaks in the shade, things like that. I've heard some easy ways, to save on energy that doesn't require, you to turn your thermostat up like crazy, is closing the blinds, trying to avoid, opening the door for as much as you can, and kind of keeping things relatively insulated as much as possible. Um, Making sure your body is cooling off as much as possible, even at night, because that can cause additional health risk at night if your body isn't cooling off and kind of letting your cardiovascular system kind of reset and do its thing. So I hope everybody stays safe, stays weather aware this weekend and into early next week. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. And again, the oral ascot is on today. During our normal time, and we will have changes again tomorrow. But the only one is that there will be no 6 a.m. There will be children's programming during that time, and we'll be on at 7 like normal, a break for the Today Show at 8, and on 9 o'clock as normal. And we hope to see you there. Again, stay weather aware, stay hydrated, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on WCNC Charlotte starting at 7 a.m.